Alrighty, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Well, we're going to take that.
Good. Today is an interview that I want to do with one of my favorite people in the entire world, my grandmother. It is Tuesday, April 9th, 2013, and I want to take some time and try to find out a little bit more about you. So I'm going to start off with, what is the earliest memory you have as a little girl? Whether it's the place that you used to go, or something you used to do, or something you got for a gift.
Oh, I guess the most closest I can remember is about 4 or 5 years old when my brother wouldn't let me walk with him to the mailbox. And it was on Labor Day. I forget the year. And okay, he went up there and the car went and hit him and killed him. And that one memory I kept as long as I live.
Was he older or younger?
He was older than I was. He was 2 years older than I. And then I remember just everything. Raising family, not family, but playing with my sisters, going to school. I walked to school 2.5 miles, down and back.
Did y'all have textbooks? Did y'all have like the books that y'all would have that?
Well, we had books like that, but we name it different. Arithmetic, we had arithmetic. We didn't say that we had what they call it now.
Math?
Math. They call it arithmetic.
What was the name of the school that you went to?
St. Stanislav Catholic School.
Yeah, was it ran by the church?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you like school?
Yeah, I like it. If I could go all the time, but I couldn't go all the time.
What grade did you go to?
I went to 6.
6th grade.
Uh-huh.
What about Grandpa? How far in school did he get?
He went to 2nd grade, he said.
2nd grade.
He had to help his daddy on the field.
Why did you stop school?
Because I had to help daddy.
What did you do with him?
I would help him plow.
Yeah, with behind
with
the
horses, with a horse and pull the road up.
Did you? What was the biggest thing you ever got in trouble for at school?
At school?
Yeah.
I never did get in trouble in school.
No, the sisters weren't mean. They were nice.
Some was mean. I didn't like them, but they never hurt me or anything.
What would the sisters say to like the parents when all of a sudden you couldn't go to school anymore? Did they say anything or did they understand?
Well, they understand because they all come from the farmers. And they knew when it rains, you can't work. And you got to work when you got change to go to work.
Yeah. What was the best memory you have of school? Did you have like a favorite friend or a favorite subject at school?
Yeah, I had a lot of favorite friends. And mostly was the one that took part in my wedding, my side partner.
Who was that?
Then Wanda. She was Wanda Pavlovsky then, but I forget her last name now. And then Virginia Falk. She lived in the Spring Hill Girls, which now they're making sausage, what they call it, Chapel Hill sausage. And they were the nicest people that you could be around there.
That's nice.
So we had some nice one. And then another one was Emily Zemiakovich. She was real good.
And they were all in your wedding party?
No.
No, they were just friends of yours at school?
Friends of mine in school.
Ah.
Wanda was the only one.
And you grew up in Chapel Hill. What year were you born?
Okay. You want to know the whole history? I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was born October the 5th, 1928. And then I was born like a day on the 5th. On the 6th, my daddy took me to church. I was baptized. I went to communion and confession when I was 7. I went to confirmation when I was about 12. And I got married in the same place in 1944 of September the 30th. And then after I got married, I came to Houston.
Do you remember what year y'all came to Houston?
Right at the day after we got married.
Why did y'all come to Houston?
Because Grandpa was working.
What was he doing?
He was welding for, I think he worked in for Moses Steel.
How did he learn how to weld?
Just took, while he was working, watching people.
In Chapel Hill?
No, here in Houston.
Okay. What, when y'all came to Houston, where'd y'all live?
We lived with few weeks with my sister Maggie Tomchek. And then we moved and stayed a couple weeks with my brother Johnny Mahalik. And then we rent us a little place off 20th Street. We stayed there till my uncle moved out from Uncle Johnny's rent house. Then we moved to Uncle Johnny's rent house. We stayed there till my house was built.
On 29th Street?
On 29, we stayed
I
there.
did not know y'all built that. That is really neat.
We didn't build it. They did it.
Oh, yeah?
And Grandpa went and talked to them. And everybody said, oh, you ain't going to get it. You ain't going to get it. You don't have that money to get it. Which we didn't have no money, but Grandpa saved $300. He put $300
down on the house?
We got it.
Do you know how much y'all paid for that house?
$8,000. And I think it's $600.
Wow. When you were growing up, what was y'all's favorite holiday as a family? What holiday did y'all like the best?
We like Christmas the best.
Yeah? Can you remember any toys or songs or things y'all would do?
We sang. We made our Christmas tree. We got a cedar tree from the woods. Made all our own designs and everything. Put some popcorn over that and paper clips and just everything we could find. And then we went to church, and from church then we celebrate.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
I have four brothers and 3 sisters.
Yeah? So there was 8 of y'all all together?
Uh-huh.
What's everybody's name?
The first one was the boys. Or do she want the one that died too?
Sure.
Okay. And I had one brother that died when he was right after he was born, and one brother that got killed.
Yeah.
So really and truly, my mama had 6 boys.
10 kids altogether?
10 children, yeah.
Yeah. What was everybody? Who was the oldest? Uncle Stanley?
Johnny.
Uncle Johnny?
Uncle Johnny, and then was Uncle Leon.
Uh-huh.
Then was Uncle Stanley.
Uh-huh.
Uncle Frank. And then Aunt Maggie came along. After Aunt Maggie was Brother Nick. And then I was. And then Nancy and Hedwig.
Who was it that got killed? Was it Uncle Nick?
Uncle Nick, yeah.
How old was he? Do you know?
He was about 7 going on 8 years, I think.
And he got hit by a car?
Yes.
Wow.
And he went to mailbox on Labor Day, and Labor Day never did a postman go.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. When did y'all have like a horse and wagon, or did y'all have a car when you were growing up?
We had horse and wagon that was most of transportation, but we did have a car.
Why didn't y'all use the car? Because of the roads or what?
No, half times it didn't run. Before Grandpa got it fixed to run, then we went.
Cars wasn't around that long. How can you have an old junk car? Did y'all have electricity at y'all's house?
No,
When did y'all get electricity?
never.
Never? When did you get electricity for the first time?
First time, whenever, then later on things change around. And I guess the electricity came when Uncle Leon built that house and Johnny and Stanley. That's when they got electricity.
When you, what was the first thing that you bought or you remember y'all getting when y'all did get electricity? Did y'all get a refrigerator?
Well, we never got it.
Well, when you did, what was the first thing that you always thought? When I get electricity, I want to get.
Well, the first thing we got married during World War II, and everything was Russian.
Yeah.
So we had a regular ice box. Grandpa bought a regular ice box that y'all got it now. And we had ice and put things to keep it cold. And that way you have to go every day to store and get some meat or something.
Did you have, so you didn't have electricity until you moved to Houston?
Yes.
Wow, that's neat. When you were growing up, what was the one chore, what was the one job you had to do at the house that you just didn't like?
Well, let's see, I didn't hardly do anything too much in the house.
Well, outside then.
Maggie, outside working with my daddy in the field.
What was the one chore you did that you didn't like to do?
Didn't like to do. We didn't have no choice that we didn't like to do. We had our choice, we had to do it, and that's it.
When y'all were growing up, what did y'all do for fun just every day?
Well, we didn't have fun every day because when we went to school, after we walked 2.5 miles, we were tired. We had to get ready and go on the field.
Okay. So when you did have time, did y'all do Saturday,
we had
Sunday?
time on Saturdays. Not that much on Saturdays. It always was on Sundays. We played ball. We played
What kind of ball did you play?
baseball.
Baseball, really? What did y'all use for a ball? Did y'all have a
Regular
baseball?
ball.
Yeah, y'all had a bat too?
Yes.
Everybody have gloves?
That's right. No, we all didn't have gloves, but a few of us did.
Yeah? Awesome.
Yeah, we had regular, where other bunch of people got together, and we got together, a few people, and we played ball.
Yeah?
We played right where Uncle Leon built his house.
Really?
That was so pretty all there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. What about your mother and father? Do you know, what were their names?
Okay, my daddy was Jacob Mahalik.
Mm-hmm.
My mama was, you want to know her maiden name? Eleonora Kaminsky.
Okay.
And that's it.
Where were they born?
My daddy was born in Poland. He was 14 months when he came to the United States. My mama was born in Brenham.
Okay. How did they meet? Do you know?
That I don't know. I can't answer. They just met.
What do you remember about your dad?
My dad, he always was fine person to us. He learned us how to speak in English.
Did he speak English?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Oh, yes. And he learned us how to play ball and how to listen to Mama. We couldn't talk back to our mother or he would knock the heck out of us. And he just was a good person to us. He was a good father.
What did he do for a living?
Well, at first, when they got married, he used to run the ferry in Chapel Hill. And then when they built the bridge, he had few acres. When you crossed the Brazos River, then you were in Hempstead. And he had few acres of cotton and corn.
Mm-hmm.
And he made good cotton, and rest of his living was raising cows.
Okay. What about your mom? What do you remember about your mom?
Mom was strict, and I mean, you had to behave and be good and a nice person. And we had to be polite to people.
What did you call them when you were growing up? Did you call them mama, daddy?
Mom and dad.
Yeah. All right. I was going to ask you this: Did they vote?
Yes, my daddy did.
Yeah. Was that a big thing for a person to vote?
He never would miss it.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have them voting ticket to prove it that he was voting, and they let him when he got real sick and we needed help, and we tried to get help from here. They found out that he didn't have his papers. They want to send him back to Poland.
When he was sick?
Yes.
Wow.
He couldn't move. He couldn't do anything.
What happened to him that he got sick?
He had a stroke, heart attacks.
Ah, okay.
He had bad heart all the time.
What year did he pass away? Do you know?
Golly. I know he passed away on 22nd? Yeah, 22nd of April.
Wow. Well, Grandpa died on April 21st, didn't he?
Grandpa died on April the 20th, if I'm mistaken. Because Julian's birthday is on 21st. And my daddy died the next day, right after 12 o'clock. And Grandpa again, Frank died on the 20th. So Julian's birthday is in the middle.
Wow. Did you know your grandparents at all?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? What were their names?
Which one, you? Mama?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to get both.
My daddy's mother was, how would you pronounce her name? In Polish, they call her Michalina. But I believe it's Michelle, something like that in English.
What did you call her when you would call her grandma?
I call her Busha.
Busha?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. What about your dad's?
And Grandpa.
Yeah.
Grandpa, his name was Martin Mihalak, and he died before I was born.
Okay.
So he died with a heart attack too. All daddy's people die with heart attacks.
What about on your mother's side?
On my mother's side,
what were their
mama,
names?
Her mother was the same name that Grandma Mihalak was. Michelle.
What is it in Polish? Say again.
Huh?
Say it in Polish again.
Michalina.
Michalina.
And what you call it? Let me see. Grandma. She died early. All I remember, when I went visit, she always was in the bed. She didn't talk too much. She didn't do nothing. What was wrong with her till today, I do not know.
What about your grandfather?
Grandfather Kaminsky? Yes, he was older. He used to come and visit us when Grandma died. Come and stay us a couple days and then go back to Brenham. He used to stay with my Aunt Janie Zantek. He stayed with her until he died. And he died on blood poison. He cut his toe with a blade and got infected. That's what killed him.
What did y'all ever do anything with him? Did y'all ever go fishing or anything like that with him?
Yeah, we went fishing to Brazos River, man.
With your grandparents?
No, not my grandparents.
Did y'all ever do anything with
Daddy.
him? Yeah?
Yeah, we went fishing a lot of times.
On when you and Grandpa got married, what did y'all do for y'all's honeymoon? Or did y'all go on a honeymoon?
He slept on the floor and I slept with my brother.
Why'd you do that?
Because my brother came and fell to sleep by me and he slept like that. He was in the army.
Yeah?
And he came real late.
Yeah?
And he not used
Was he drunk or what?
He been drinking some, but he never liked to drink.
What brother was that?
Stanley.
Yeah?
And he stayed up there and early in the morning. He said, Francis, did I sleep here? I said, yeah, you slept here with me. And he said, hell, I don't know. I don't remember what's going on. So they didn't go to sleep till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, man.
So he was so tired because he drove, you know.
Yeah?
With he had Stella and David, them two, because she followed him wherever he went. When he was here close, she went there too.
What do you remember about like the Great Depression? You know, because the Great Depression, they talk about it now.
It was over when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But I know it was hell on them.
Yeah.
They didn't have much food. During Second World War, we had to have stamps for sugar, stamps to buy bacon, and different.
Where would you get the
items.
stamps at?
I think the government sent us.
They put it like in the mailbox?
I think so. I don't remember that, how Daddy got them.
Yeah, yeah.
We never did question him a lot.
Did y'all have a radio growing up?
No.
What about like when World War II was happening with, you know, you had one brother in the army.
Well, I had two brothers.
Two brothers in the army?
Frank and Stanley both.
And did y'all like read the newspaper, or how did y'all?
We didn't have a newspaper.
How did y'all hear about? How did they get? How did they know to go? Did they enlist in the army?
No, they were drafted.
They were drafted in the army.
Yeah.
What did you think about when they dropped like the atom bomb, or when Adolf Hitler invaded, or the Japanese invaded, like Pearl Harbor?
Well, Pearl Harbor, they didn't have to go there,
and
they went straight to Europe.
Yeah.
And they stayed there. Don't tell me what. I know Stanley. He's met Brother Frank in New York, and they both cried together.
Yeah.
Then he met Brother Frank. He was a paratrooper.
Okay.
They dropped him. It was, I think, 500 of them. It was a whole bunch, other words. And it was just, I think, 50 of them going to ground. All the other ones got killed in the air. And when he did, that was in Germany. And he went in Germany over there. And they opened the gate where they had them all. And one of them, Frank seen my brother Stanley.
Wow.
And they both sit there and cry too. And then they heard it. It was all over.
When did you hear about like when they dropped the atom bomb on?
That didn't affect none of us here.
No, but did y'all hear about that the war was over?
When it was over, yeah.
How do you remember how y'all heard about that?
Oh man, everybody was going with cars and holler in the country. Yeah. That was our contact. People holler because they didn't have no TVs, no nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
And then one time when they bought radio, it had to be a battery.
Okay.
Then the batteries came up and they got it. And we didn't get it right away. Then later on, Daddy got one.
Yeah.
Because my mama won one, so he went and bought one. And that's what we had.
When you were growing up, did y'all ever go on vacations? Did y'all know did y'all even...
We didn't even know what vacation was. It was vacation we got through working every day.
That's
But
awesome.
I can remember the greatest time I had it.
Yeah.
I never had a bought dress.
Yeah.
I never had nothing like that. Mama made all our clothes to school and everything. And my daddy took me with him always shopping. Because I helped him and told him what Mama needs and stuff like that. Because she would tell me, I seen a dress. And I told Daddy, Daddy, I sure wish I could have that dress. Daddy said, why? I said, because I never had a bought dress. And I said, it's so pretty. And Daddy asked the guy, how much is it? He said, 75 cents.
Yeah.
And he bought me that dress.
Wow.
And then they got home and they were fixing to go to Houston to see Johnny.
Uh-huh.
Daddy had his car ready and everything, and we had a extra seat in the back in our car.
Uh-huh.
Not inside, but outside.
Mm-hmm.
When you open it, it was extra stuff. So I got in there and I crawled in there and I went too. And they didn't know that I was going in the car.
Oh my.
And when I got to Cypress,
Uh-huh.
Daddy always stopped and got us some soda water. So I opened that and Daddy seen me. He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Mom was sure gonna get mad because you're supposed to stay with Maggie. And Frank and Stanley, they stay at home."
Uh-huh.
And I told him, "I want to go show Uncle Johnny." I didn't say Uncle Johnny. Show Johnny and Janie my pretty dress you bought.
What was it? Was it flowers? What kind of print was
It was
it?
just a print clothes.
Yeah?
Just a plain.
What color was it?
Kind of brownish, yellow, something, mixed up colors.
Yeah? All right.
I couldn't, so long ago, man. But I did have that bought dress, that main thing. And those dresses, we call it now, that Mama made was much prettier than that dress. But it was a bought dress.
Sure.
Their kids got that in their mind.
Sure. How did you meet Grandpa?
How did I meet Grandpa?
Mm-hmm.
I met Grandpa at Brazos River Hall in Chopper Hill. And it was raining, thundering, and everything. And the people did not come to the players, rather, did not come. And Tom Stolarsky, that was his, he went ahead and all the people from Brenham and Chopper Hill was fighting like crazy there. And it was pour down raining, so they closed up and everybody had to go home. Whole bunch of gang got together. And Stanley, that's Frank's brother, he's always was running around with Uncle Leon. They were best friends together. They all came over our house and my daddy took the fiddles and was playing. And some guys was playing dice and some of them was just talking and laughing and joking. All their girlfriends and they were together. And Grandpa came with them.
How did Grandpa, what did he say to you to introduce himself? Do you know? Do you remember?
Well, one of my friends introduced himself because my brother Frank was in that fight and I want to get him out of there. And he threw me to Frank and he said, "Take that girl outside and keep her there. Don't let her come here."
Yeah.
And Daddy Grandpa took me outside and we were talking. I want to go. He said I couldn't go because they hit me. You know, he could kill me. I mean, they really fight.
Sure.
And some of them was my kinfolks from Brenham.
Sure.
And so Henry Pavlovsky was watching Brother Frank, and Brother Frank said, "Benny, I can't hate you." Benny said, "I can't hate you either." And Henry said, "Well, I can." Let me see this one. Sandy. Hello? Yeah. How's it going? Going okay. Hey, Paul is here. He interviewing me. Let me let you go, and when you come home, call me or come by. Okay. Bye-bye.
What was your best memory of being married to Grandpa? Do you have like some when y'all bought y'all's first house, got your first car,
First
got
memory.
married? No, best memory.
Grandpa. I went with him for mine 12 months or maybe longer.
Mm-hmm.
And we just was meeting each other, dancing and everything. Then later on, what it was, he came. Well, let me finish telling. And after that, everything. Everybody was leaving from our house.
Uh-huh.
And Grandpa came to me and he kissed me goodbye and he said, you know what? I'm going to be seeing you a lot.
All
And
right.
since then, we've been going together.
Wow. How long did y'all date before y'all got married?
Like I said, I don't know if it was over a year and a half or something like
Something
that.
like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Did he ask your dad to marry you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? That's just the way they had to do it, huh?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So y'all moved to Houston, and y'all didn't have any kids, right?
No.
Y'all had the rent house, and then how old were you when? Well, let me ask you this: were y'all nervous about having kids? How you're gonna provide for them, or anything like that?
No, we never thought about nothing like that.
Yeah, just
I was young. I was not a kid myself when I got married.
yeah. How old were you when you got married?
16.
16. How old was Grandpa?
He was 21.
Okay, all
He
right.
just was 21 that year.
So
He's 6 years older than I am.
So y'all go ahead. Y'all have kids. Which one of your kids is your favorite child?
None of
Nah, I'm just playing.
none of them. I like them all alike.
I know they're great. So let me ask you this:
And
what do you remember about Uncle Juki that stands out in your mind? That you're like maybe your best memory, the most proud you were of him. You know when.
well, Uncle Julian, he was nice. He never gave me a lot of trouble or anything. He never was a crybaby. Wherever we went, we took him. We went dancing. He went with us. We went anywhere we went. We never left him nowhere.
Yeah.
Grandpa wouldn't leave him nowhere. He didn't believe in leaving his job behind.
Yeah.
So he went with us. We went dancing. All got him, opened him potato chips and gave him a bottle of soda water. He stayed there and he ate. He was a big eater then. He still is. Yeah.
What about Aunt Margaret? Can you think of anything that stands out in your mind about her that you know when you were really proud of her, when you really, you know, the type of person that she
Yeah,
is?
I was real proud of her too because she was my girl and the second one to be a girl so bad, and it was.
Yeah.
But with Margaret, she listened to me. I couldn't go nowhere because she cried after me all the time. She wouldn't let me go nowhere because I had to be right there with her. And she had to hold my dress even when I was fixing food and stuff. Until she spilled that oatmeal on her.
Yeah. What about Mary? What about my mother?
Mary,
What's some of your best memories of her? Or,
she too. Only with Mary, I never did suffer any.
yeah.
I finally got to the hospital and she was born.
Yeah.
And
Cause
when Grandpa took Julian and Margaret and Teresa, Uncle Stanley, because that's all they want to go is over there all the time. So Daddy took him. And when he came back, there was Mary already. He went to see her.
oh.
And I don't know why or how come Grandpa said my gosh, she looked just like Gentek. And I said, how can you tell that? To me, she looked just like all the other two. He said, no, and I'll be darned, when she died, she looked just like Grandma Gentek.
Yeah.
You noticed that too?
I did.
Yeah.
What about Aunt Nancy?
And Nancy came 6 years later. And she was very special to me because it was a miracle to have her.
Yeah, why is that?
Because everybody thought I had cancer and they want to operate and do without, you know.
The hysterectomy?
Yeah. And they wouldn't let me go. And I asked the doctor, don't, because I know I'm pregnant. They said, no, it's not pregnancy. You got cancer there. And you're going to die if you don't have it out. So I found a special Dr. Van Pola at Herman and the medical center. And he took me right away and he said, no, we're going to save the baby and save you. And right after the baby, you have to have this surgery.
Mm.
So he did.
What did you think about when Charlotte was born, your first grandchild?
Great baby. She was just like my own child. Other words, she always wanted to stay with me. She didn't want to go home. She wanted to be there. And mostly of all, I think, she just liked to play with Nancy.
Yeah.
She wasn't nobody there, and Nancy was there.
Yeah.
So she always played because I could do my work and everything. Nancy was there. She was by me. Nancy was home when she was in the bedroom with Nancy. See, Nancy and her 9 years apart, so Nancy been playing with her all the time.
Sure. Now I'm going to change it up a little bit. Who do you think is the most important person that has kind of changed our world since you've been alive? Can you think of anybody like that? Like Albert Einstein or
I don't even know nothing about them.
who is it that you could think of? Can you think of anybody like that?
I would say to ones where nobody don't agree with me,
Who's that?
that Kennedys.
The Kennedys?
I think so. I think John Kennedy did the most wonderful thing for the people. Whenever, I never forget, my grandma lived, my daddy built her a house that she lived by herself, his mama, and she had few chickens and a couple cows and everything, and they was going to haul it away. Because they didn't allow her one cow for milk and just one calf, few chickens for eggs, and if she worked in that. And my daddy went up there and told him that the cow, it's all his, he just let grandma use them. And he told him, her in Polish, and she gave that cow to my daddy. And so.
Where were you when John F. Kennedy got shot?
I was living on 29th Street.
What did you think? Did you think that this was really bad? That maybe World War III or anything like that?
No, we just felt sorry for him that he was dead. That's all.
Yeah. Who is he the best president you think of that you can ever think of?
Well,
or Truman or Eisenhower?
Eisenhower, he was okay too, but he didn't do too much anything like that. I think Johnson was pretty good as a senator. Wouldn't be for Johnson, we wouldn't get Social Security. Because he fight for it. Oh yeah, he had a different president. I think it was Franklin Roosevelt. But he was the one that was running from town to town and campaigning. So they would take it. And the Kennedy, the reason they took Johnson, because if them senators wouldn't listen or were talking behind when he started hollering, get up and everything, everybody opened up more. But he fight like everything to get that for us.
Who do you think has been the worst president you ever seen?
I don't know. To me, they didn't do nothing but to me. I think Bush, the last Bush that we had.
Yeah, that's
Because he went to the Pope and asked him, and the Pope begged him not to start his war.
Yeah.
And he said he was going to do it. And that's where we at. Now everybody blames Obama for being in debts. Yeah,
Sure.
he put it more, agree, by helping senior citizens.
Sure.
That's it. But 2 years, we haven't got raised, and everybody was getting one, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And he said, enough is enough. I'm giving them a raise.
What when y'all were growing up, what did y'all do before y'all had television? What did y'all do as a family together?
We played cards, dominoes. We was more of a family.
Yeah.
Yeah. The TV took separate the families and everything.
What was your favorite movie or song or TV show? when y'all did get a TV?
We were on 29th Street. We got first TV. I don't know, Western movies. That's all Grandpa watching. That's all it was. So we liked it. We went to movie every Friday.
What was your favorite movie that you can never remember? The Gone with the Wind.
No, going out the wind. At that time, they wouldn't let us go. They said that wasn't the. There was too much killing up there.
Oh yeah.
We went more. The best movie that I like, and I don't know how would you get it. It's the four stars, and it's a Western movie and a country movie, but
Do you know who's in it?
no, I can't think all them names. But anyhow, that was the best one I ever have seen.
Well, let me say this, that you are one of the most important people in my life, and I want to say I love you and I thank you. And I was going to ask you a question. What is the one thing that you want people to remember about you?
Remember about me? I just want to remember what I told y'all, what to do and how, and to be nice, be kind to everybody, and never be prejudiced against one another. With nobody, whether you're poor or you rich or you got more money, don't ever forget where you come from.
Where'd we come from?
From being poor, you built yourself up. You built yourself up just like we did. Okay, but don't ever take advantage of that you're better than somebody else. Never do that. Other people, when they get something, everything, they don't want people to come to their house, the dirty or nothing. No, just remember, everybody love one another.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got. I appreciate it. I love you.
And I think if everybody do that, this would be a nice place to live.
I agree.
And another thing, go to church. You got 6 days to do work. I think the 7th day, you need to go to church at least for an hour.
That's good stuff.
You know?
Well, good.